everybody, this is Ginger, and this is Ginger's Chat Show. And let me see, let me do a little rearranging here. Hold on a minute. Move some stuff out of the way. I gotta do some reorganizing. Whoops! Sorry! I didn't mean to make you dizzy. Hold on a second. Oh, come on. There we go. There we're better. Still a little crooked at my camera. There. It's been knocked over a number of times, so the bottom are on a kind of a flexible stance, and so sometimes they get knocked out of kilter. So, hi Nancy, hi Dorothy. How are you guys doing weather-wise and everything? And you think we're having problems over here in the States? New Zealand had a straight line windstorm that hit their neck of the woods, and there was a video of a house losing its roof. He just got ripped right off. He lost his internet. He lost his internet dish and everything. He just went flying off. So, well, it is. You're warmer than I am, Nancy. 50 degrees here, and it's starting to rain, or will be raining. Let's see. Yeah, it's raining now. A little kind of hard to tell here unless the clouds get really dark, but we're getting light rain through here. The storm comes in from the south here. My building my building goes north-south, okay? Now, in the apartment complex, it could go north, south, or east, west. So it depends on the location of what my neighbors and everything are doing. So it's not too bad. I mean, we do need the rain here. And the trees and the flowers look happier too. Well, just think. Hate to break it to you, Nancy. Tornado season will be starting soon. So, yeah, keep your eye to the sky. Of course, tornadoes have been starting earlier this year. And so, with are we in El Nino or La Nina? One of the two. So anyway, also today is the first day of my recording for daylight savings time since we switched yesterday. Now some states don't switch to back and forth. Arizona is the only state that doesn't, or Arizona, and I think Hawaii doesn't. So we're on here in Washington State. We're on daylight savings time. I prefer daylight savings time than I do standard. For some reason today when I first woke up yesterday morning, I wasn't really groggy yesterday morning. I felt more rested than I did. And so, hi Carol! Good seeing you. So I wish Congress would just get down to work, get some things done, and things cleared out of the way and everything, and stop being a bunch of spoiled brats. I'm talking about the House. I'm not talking about the Senate so much. It's the House, okay? The MAGA idiots. The MAGA brats. And they are. They're acting like a bunch of spoiled brats. The MAGAs. And they need to be given the boot this coming fall. Be kicked out of Congress and not be allowed to run again. We don't need people like that in Congress. We need people in Congress that does public service and do things on our behalf, okay? We're the bosses. You and I are the bosses. We need to tell them to go, hey guys, let's get to work, okay? If you want to get paid, Anyway, there is a sunshine, from Mark Rubio. He put out resurrected the Sunshine Act to make daylight saving time year round for everybody. And stop the switching back and forth crap, because a lot of times it's been causing a lot of issues with your internal clock. Which that part I agree with. Okay, it does cause problems. Even my cat was upset about it. Okay, Loki does not like the time change at all. He hates it. And so we're now on daylight savings time. He's happier. My cat's much happier. So, okay, now on to other things here. As you know, somebody needs to put a literal muzzle over Trump, over his mouth, and tell him to shut up and leave people alone. Okay? Him being a bully, which he is, he needs to be put in his place. And you think after now being forced to pay the $83.8 million fine regarding E.G. Carroll, the guy goes off and attacks her again. You think he'd learn? You know? Somebody needs to put him in isolation or something. And then, of course, you've got these bleeding heart mangas go, oh, well, that's violating his rights, his free speech rights. Well, there are some things you shouldn't say, and there's some things that, yeah, you need to bring up a point or something. But I hope she sues again. I really do. And they really need to stop talking about a gag order. They need to put one on him and really muzzle his mouth. They really need to, okay? I'm tired of his playing around. I'm tired of his trying to delay trials and everything else. The charges are always going to be there. And so it needs to be taken care of, okay? He is now forced to, the Trump lawyer, the new lawyer that he's hired, the new lawyer says, no, you need to change the bond. You need to make it correct. You can't go roundabout with it, okay? And I hope Trump is forced to make decision to sell his assets and then pay the fines and, do something else, okay? And I hope he's going to be, with his criminal trials, I hope he's going to be in prison for a long time. I really do. Especially this documents case. And speaking of the documents case in Florida, the 11th Circuit needs to put their foot down and remove Cannon from the bench and put in a judge in there that's experienced in handling these kind of cases, okay? And stop playing around. Do it and just get the trial done now. Because that's an important thing, because our national security and our secrets are important for the survival of our country. And I'm not about to let idiot Putin over there to try to run roughshod over us. I'm tired of him. He's the one that also needs to be in prison, okay? I remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but I remember growing up under the threat of a nuclear war in the 60s. And remember we had to do drills in grade school, air raid drills and everything in grade school. Along with, of course, some of us had to do earthquake drills, if you live in earthquake country. But I'm talking about nuclear war ones. And at that time, I was in kindergarten. Yeah, I was in kindergarten. the last part of kindergarten and I'll be first grade. Um, that we were told to get under our either under our desk or in the wall hallways in the wall of the school, and I couldn't understand why this was going on. Okay, and so I went home and I asked my dad, who was a retired lieutenant colonel in the Air Force. I asked him. I said, "Dad, why are we doing these drills? These air raid drills. They didn't tell us anything what's going on, which scares us kids more by not telling us what's going on so we can understand it." And I said they were keeping under secret and everything else, but when they do that, that scares us more. It doesn't scare us less, okay? And Dad says, "Yeah, I know." And he explained to me what was going on. And because at times the base, they were doing the same thing. They were conducting their air raid drills, okay? Of course, needless to say, when you live near an Air Force base, that's a target, okay? I'm less than a quarter of a mile from McCourt, which is way over there. So you're darned if you do and you're darned if you don't. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I asked how that, and of course, we had in a grade school that I attended, we had bay windows. Okay. The older school, there were two buildings. The older school was built in the 1930s. The newer school was built in uh, the 1960s. Okay. Uh, yeah, early 1960s time frame. And of course, you have the bay windows. Okay, we had windows at the old brick building, but they were not as wide or as tall. Whereas the ones in the newer building, yeah, they were tall. They were like floor to ceiling. Well, you know about nuclear blast and everything. Glass goes flying everywhere, and I'm thinking how deaths aren't going to save us. Yeah, that too. In the hallway, yeah. If you're in an enclosed hallway and you're away from windows and everything else, which our one teacher said, we should be in the hallway. We should not be in the classrooms when you have all the glass and everything. And go, yeah. Because we're in a brick building, so you're pretty much protected in a, you know, type thing. Now, I don't know if the new schools that they have thought about things like this. You know, the new schools that are being replaced and built. Um, so yeah, I'm tired of Russia. Not the people of Russia. I'm talking about their so-called government, like Putin, him only, that is threatening other countries with his rhetoric. Okay, and I wish somebody would just take him out, put him in prison, and put him in solitary, and throw away the key. And the guy doesn't deserve any rights. Frankly, I think Russian people themselves deserve better. They deserve a better leader. Yeah, yeah. They didn't. Well, they called it air up here in Washington State. They call it an air raid drill, and so okay. Well, they did the air raid drills, if I remember right. They did the air raid drills about once a month. Okay, once a month they did the drills. Um, And of course, we did the earthquake drills. I think they were at random on the earthquake drills. Because up here, guys, I live in earthquake country. I live in Washington State. And we uh, did have some real nasty earthquakes here. We had one in 1949, had another one in 1965, had another one in 2001. Um, and it's been a while. It's been over 20 some odd years before we had another major earthquake here. And they're now, by the scientists, are now saying, the geological science are now saying the fault lines along the coast here, the plates, the North American plate and the Pacific Ocean plate, they're rubbing against each other, and our plate is slipping under. And I go, well, I hope it's not too bad. Okay. Now the earthquake we had in 2001 was felt all the way down to Portland, Oregon, and part of Northern California, and then it was felt in Colorado, and some parts was felt in what was it? Another state? Was it Colorado? It was felt pretty much along the the area, Pacific Northwest area. So I hope my building, my old girl here, I hope she holds up. She was built in 2001, so it was just after the earthquake. So let's hope it's really solid. I really do. And here I am again up on the third floor, like I was up on the third floor at Boeing when the 2001 earthquake hit. And that was a ride. Except Boeing in Renton was, that was built on mud flats there. So when it shook, you're like on a bowl of jelly, okay? And it did a lot of damage at the Renton plant. It really did. One office building afterwards had to be torn down because they lost the stairwell. And of course the elevators were pretty much inoperable. So anyway, Trump is in big doo-doo. Back to him. He's in big doo-doo. And he said, well, it's going to be a rematch between him and Biden. Well, you know what? I'm sure there'll be a lot of other delegates that may crop up and take away some of his votes. And he's not going to win at all, because good majority of the MAGAs that used to be with him are leaving in droves. They're going back to being independents, and they don't want to belong to either party, but they want to be independent, okay? Be able to caucus with other parties is what they really want to do, which is fine, but I prefer my freedom. I want my freedom, and I don't like dictators. I hate dictators. And they're like a bunch of bullies. And that's not how you lead a country. It isn't. But look at North Korea. And I wish the North Korean people weren't so downtrodden, if you will, by all the lies and everything that was fed to them. And those that were able to escape and come over here and live over here peacefully, they said, we're shocked. They lied to us. And there are some underground groups over there that they're getting truthful information through Radio Free Europe and everything else. And, hey, Teresa! Yay, I'm up 5. I need more. I need more, guys. Be sure to like too. Be sure to give me a thumbs up, please. Um, hola, Teresa, ¿cómo está? And I'm doing very well. We'll begin. Um, missed you. Anyway, so we have a lot of work to do. We really do. And we women need to smack the Supreme Court and say, look, the laws were put there for a reason. You don't sit there and overturn them. You don't dictate to us women what we can and cannot do. Okay? We're going to dictate to you what you need to do and what you can't do. Okay? And I think the Supreme Court needs to be reminded they work for us. Okay? And I think some changes there need to be good. I'm glad, Teresa. There are some things that need to be changes, and I think the Judiciary Committee, the Senate Judiciary Committee, needs to say, put some really hard and fast rules to Supreme Court, and they say, you know, we're going to do some changes here. We may be doing some forced retirements, and make it change where I think the change should be every 4 years a Supreme Court needs to be rotated. Okay? Oh, come on, don't do this. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry, that was my cord, and I don't know why it's doing that. So anyway, let's see what else. Now, what else do you guys want to talk about? I know you've watched the State of the Union address. I love President Biden. He's not afraid to go off script a little bit and call it out and call it out for what it is. He really put MAGAs, especially the MAGA group, not the GOP, not the regular conservative, everything else. And I think the conservative group, part of the GOP needs to stand up and give the MAGAs a complete boot, okay? And now arresting this guy who was a guest there, and he interrupted Trump's speech, which is against House rules. They should do the same thing and arrest Marjorie Taylor Greene for the same act. They should not have a double standard there. It should apply to all. And Greene should have been hauled out. Should have been grabbed by the arm and hauled out, and she should have been thrown in jail. Or told you will never be allowed in the chambers again until you clean up your act. She's acting like a spoiled brat and a bully. Okay? I know Boebert was really super quiet. Of course, her campaign's in trouble right now. I know that he will win. I know President Biden will win. He'll win by a landslide. Well, look what happened in 2020. He won by a landslide in 2020. And, here they're saying they're complaining about ages, age and everything else. Excuse me. A lot of times of age is wisdom. It really is. And President Biden is so what? He's 81 years old. Okay? Somebody's got to run the country. And people need to stop focusing on his age. You need to focus on character and competence. Is what you need to focus on. Trump doesn't have any of that. He's never learned, Trump, in my view, has never really learned to grow up. He never has. He expects everything done for him. Okay? Thank you, Teresa, which is gracias. Um, so, um, I don't know what to think. I really do. Trump is a spoiled brat, what he really is. He's a spoiled brat that needs to be put in his place. And, uh, and those that back him, I don't know what they see in the guy. I really don't, unless they're similar to him. Okay? And, oh, I have to watch that video on that. Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel does not mince words. He really doesn't. And yeah, I'll have to watch that. And a lot Hollywood does not like Trump at all. They never have. Okay, and let's see. Why is my thing acting up? Hold on a minute, guys. Yeah. Um, People need to speak up and speak out, but for the right things and for the right reasons. That's what they really need to do. And I always said I don't like bullies ever. Never have, never will. I mean, I was bullied when I was in grade school. Finally, I had enough. I took my. If you remember growing up, we had our little lunch pails. That came in handy. I clobbered one kid for hitting me. I finally had enough, and I took my lunch pail and whapped him right over the head on it with it. You know what? He never touched me again. He never hit me again. He had high respect. Okay? Even the teacher ignored it. She says, she was the vice principal of the school. She says, Virginia had enough. And she hauled off and let him have it. Well, nowadays it's called assault. Well, when somebody picks a fight first, you have a right to defend yourself. Okay? And I have the right to defend myself. And so, I don't like violence any more than anybody else does. But when it comes to somebody that doesn't seem to get it through their thick skull, that these are some of these things you don't do. Okay. Okay, well, it's just about time for me to sign off. I will see you. Let me check my calendar. Hold on a minute. Let me check my calendar here. Okay. I will see you on Wednesday as usual. 1 o'clock at Stavings time. I hope you have a wonderful evening and take care. And I will have a few surprises in store. It takes time for me to work on them. So I will post this on my YouTube channel, Ginger's Chat Show. Be sure to like and subscribe over there. I'm sorry, Dorothy. And I will see you then. And be sure to like and subscribe over my YouTube channel. Okay? Talk to you later. Love you all. And thank you for coming. I really do. Love you. Love you. Talk to you later. Okay. Bye-bye.